Hello, welcome to Sean Builds a Lisp. My name is Sean and I am building a Lisp. So last time we kind of sprinted and hacked together compiling a hello world from start to finish. And that was fun. It gave us an idea that plausibly we're on the right track here. So now I suppose it's time to go back and fill out some more of our reader functions. So today I would like to start building the reader for numbers. So I think we're going to end up refactoring some of our reader functions that we already have, but I think I'd like to just dig in and get started, and we will start building our function, readNumber.js. All right, so like always, we'll also have a number read table. Cool. So let's just fill in some stubs here. All right, function read number stream. All right, of course, we'll want to import our read table. So read table equals require number dot slash number read table. Alrighty, so all right, in order to do this, I've already pulled up the ECMAScript documentation and I've scrolled to the relevant section on parsing numeric literals. So let's walk through this and see what we have. So basically this is pretty much BNF notation for parsing. So top level numeric literal. Rule, it can be a decimal literal, binary integer literal, octal integer literal, or hex integer literal. Let's see, a decimal integer literal. Can be a decimal integer literal, dot decimal digits, optional, exponent part, or dot decimal digits, exponent part, optional, or a decimal integer literal exponent part. And so basically what that means is just the different ways that you would be able to express a number. So I'm just gonna kind of in a comment here. So for example, you can have 1. You can have 1.1, 1.1 E1, or .1, .1 E1. And so basically these are just the parts. This would be a decimal integer literal, decimal integer literal, dot, decimal digit literal, etc. And so basically we want to break this apart and basically add these to our read table. And not quite sure exactly how this is all going to fit together. We might end up with a bunch of stuff, but this is a great start. Okay, so let's dig in. Decimal literal. Let's start with decimal integer literal. That's probably the simplest. And so that can be just the digit 0 or a non-digit 0 followed by decimal digits. And decimal digits is a single decimal digit, or decimal digits itself, decimal digit. So this is a recursive definition, and decimal digit is any of the numbers 0 to 9, and a non-zero digit is any of the numbers 1 to 9. So I'm just gonna kind of look through this. What I'm thinking here is that in our main read table, we will add basically the non-zero digit numbers to kick things off. Let's see. I'm just checking to see if the non-zero digits exist anywhere else. I don't think so. It's pretty much just to specify the beginning of a number, because an integer 0, 1 is invalid, essentially. So we're going to skip that because that'll go in our main read table. But I'm just going to separate these guys. All right, so All right, so I'm just gonna do some dumb stuff here. And I'm just gonna have, you know what? All right, I'm realizing I'm just gonna have a stub there, and we're just gonna do something really dumb. We're just gonna put an entry in our table for each decimal digit. 6, 7, 8, and 9. We'll need some commas. Let's quickly copy pasta those. All right, so I think that this is actually not going to be actually what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna read and replace and just have this be read char. Maybe not read digit. Oops, I need an S. So basically when I'm doing search and replace, I'm using Vim emulation here. And so you'll see in down in this bottom corner, the regex that I'm typing. All right, so S, and we're gonna replace read digit with read char. Oh my goodness. Sorry, %s will replace everything in the file. Brain hasn't woken up yet today. All right, so read char. So basically what this is saying is, we're probably gonna rename this file, but whenever we encounter one of these guys, we're just going to read it. Actually, we're not just going to read it. Actually, I think that will work. All right, and then so our read number function, I'm just gonna do something a little silly here and say, and if we remember, we get a char as input. All right, so what we'll do is while, all right, let reader equals read table char, and while reader, we're gonna need another variable, let number. All right, so while reader number plus equals reader number, and so oops, char. All right, and then char equals peak char of our stream, and reader equals read table char. And then we will return number with our number. So basically, hello, welcome back. Sorry, I'm not really sure how to pronounce your username. Just call you C-Leet. So what do we have? All right, so basically we think that this could plausibly parse a number. So I'm just going to go ahead and start a test file. Read number.spec.js, and let's put that over there. So as usual, describe module, and we are pulling in blisp reader / read number. And that will give us our read number function. Let's see here. Can't remember, did I ever make a, I'm gonna jump over to, it's here. I'm gonna just do a describe input, global dot describe input equals function describe input. We'll have input and a callback, and so we'll just return. Yeah. I'm gonna instead call this describe jumping around here. Describe input. We'll stick with that. Function describe input. And so what this is going to take is input as a string and a callback. And so what we'll do is we'll return describe and let's do describe read input. Maybe I should write some tests and decide what I actually want this function to do. All right, and so we'll have it. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm trying to simplify some of this stuff so that I don't have to create input streams all the time, and we can just all right, so we will describe, we're just gonna do the same thing, read.name and put some quotes, and we'll just have our input there. Whoops, what am I doing? That's not how JavaScript works. And then we will call our callback with the input. Why not? Oops, we want to do new input stream. All right, so basically just describe what our test will be and then make that. So we of course have to import our input stream. And that will be const input stream equals require blisp reader slash input stream. All right, let's try it out. Describe input. No, describe read input with our read number. And I am just going to start simple. We're going to read the number 0. It reads number 0. Oops. The whole point of this is so that we would get our input stream. All right, we'll just go with that. And oh my. All right, so expect. Oh, I didn't import it. Nope, that's not how CommonJS works. Try. That is also not how CommonJS works. I feel like my brain is not working correctly today. All right, cool. So expect read number. I'm just gonna actually, let's keep things consistent. We're getting a stream dot peak char to equal 0. Well, who knows? Let's run it. And we crashed. Rechar is not a function. Very true. I think that I forgot to import this here. Rechar, nope, that's not how that works. Equals require dot slash rechar. All right, and then that reminds me we need peak char over here. Nope, that's not the file I was thinking of. Yes, let's go ahead and save that. All right, we need to get peak char in here too. Peak char, and we will require that guy. Okay, maybe this will run. Our hello world took forever. We have apparently a very, very slow function. All right, cool. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna actually jump into my package.json. No, what am I thinking? I want to, yep. Jump into my package.json where I have my test script. I think I'm just going to temporarily, hopefully not, just run my number tests because that's what we're pretty much going to be working with today, and so that'll be faster and easier to read. All right, hopefully I don't forget to, I'll end up checking that in, but thinking about making another script that's easier to deal with. All right, whatever. We're just going to keep going. Okay. So that should be 1. And so let's see here. I wonder if I should, whatever. All right, I'm gonna just do this so that my copy pasta helps me out a bit. And, oops, I want that to be stream.input. Whatever. You know what? Let's just go crazy here. Global. Let's see. Global dot. I'm gonna basically. It is a number. It reads the number. And then function, it reads the number, and so take a number and a callback and return. It reads the number num, and we'll call our callback with our number. And just abstracting some stuff here. So reads the number. Let's do this up here. We'll just delete this whole thing and do this where we were going. All right, so it reads the number, number stream dot input. So this will be handy just because we're going to be doing a lot of this kind of thing, and so okay, I missed a bracket there. Great. All right, let's run it. Make sure everything. Of course, it didn't work. Global. That's not how you spell global. Neither is that. Cool. All right, so all right, I'm going to just see if when I get an error, make sure the stack trace still points. Shoot. Yeah, I was afraid of that. Oh, it does. It does. Great. And it reads the number. Cool. I just wanted to make sure that my stack trace would still point to where I'm looking. All right. So now we can really quickly just write some tests. Let's just do a bunch. All right, so let's do 1. Let's do multiple digits, and that's it for now. All right, a little surprised by that. Read char. We are getting back 0 every time. Okay, I'm just gonna make this a little simpler. All right, let's see here. Read number 10 reads the number 10. Read number 1 reads the number 1. Oh, you know what? We're not passing char. It reads read input. Oh, yes, we are. Peak char. Oh, we need to actually call this function. So basically, we were passing the peak char function as the first character of the string. All right, let's try to do this a little methodically. So here's what we did. We said numeric literal, decimal literal, decimal literal, decimal integer literal, which is this guy. So let's verify that 0, nothing, throws an error. And so I still haven't decided what I want to do with errors yet. No matter what I do, I will probably pick the wrong thing. And so this guy is going to be expect, we need to wrap this in a function because we expect this to throw. And I'm just gonna, let's put it to do verify error. All right, so where are we? Read list? No, we're on read number. All right, so basically if char is 0, yeah, so if number, all right, so if our current number is 0, and char is not equal to all right, so if number is equal to reader if number is equal to 0 and what's happening? Number, and we have a reader, then we are going to throw a new error, invalid syntax. Unexpected character char. Yep, let's see. It throws an invalid syntax error. All right. So basically, what happened there was I had a parameter in for this function. I think Mocha looked at I'm not sure. I think Mocha was waiting for me, gave me a callback function because it thought I was doing something async. Yep, that's what it seemed like happened. All right, great. So I think we are basically successfully parsing decimal integer literal. So let's, so this is where we are, decimal integer literal, and now we basically we did this part without the exponent. So let's tack on the exponent. All right, so basically, I think I want to drive this via the read tables. All right, this is gonna get a little hairy, so I'm gonna actually start breaking this up. You know what this is gonna mean? We are going to have to redo all our imports. Not the first time, won't be the last time. All right. All right, so basically what we're looking for here is to determine basically that we've read our integer literal, and now we are only reading our exponent part. Or, for example, if we read a decimal integer literal and we encounter the period, we want to essentially use decimal digits exponent part. How do we do this? Let's see here. All right, I'm gonna rename some of this stuff. All right, so number read table. I'm gonna rename this to decimal integer read table. We'll keep, and yeah, whatever, we'll rename this. All right, so decimal integer, actually read number. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna make our number table. Okay, for now I'm just gonna copy this and pop that guy in there. All right, so let's see. What we want to do is I'm just going to start with the decimal, even though actually, whatever. All right, so I'm just gonna make this a function that takes a stream, a char, and a value. Yeah. let's look at what this actually is. Assigned integer. Okay, so decimal digits plus or minus. Okay, so all right, so we will return read char with our stream, and that's it. That's all we need. But first we are going to all right, I'm gonna do this over here because I'm kind of confusing myself by trying to do it in place. All right, so read read table e equals, and this will be a function that takes stream char and the value. Realizing that we want to pass in an extra parameter there. And what are we going to do? We're going to return read char stream. Let's just do this. Read table. All right. All right, so basically what I'm doing right now is trying to modify the read table in such a way that we'll essentially always get this. And then basically at the end here we can do a peak char, and if we don't see white space, then we're done. Then we throw an error. All right, but basically with a plus, we will have a stream char value. So we will return value plus read char stream. You know what? This is in place. I'm just gonna do a concat function, just take stream char and value, and it just returns plus read char stream. Combining syntax there. Oops, wrong thing. All right, and then we can just simplify this a bit. Actually, we totally ignoring all of these. And a comma there would help. Okay, so and basically here we want to delete read table plus. All right, so I'm doing this in place, and this is really not good, but we'll come back and make these pure functions later. Just kind of want to prove out my theory here. So let's see. Read exponent and do boom, boom. Now we can simplify this. And so plus equals read exponent. Alright, so, and then I'm gonna essentially loop over the current keys. Alright, so for key in read table. And Alright, and reassign the key to read exponent. And we'll do, and then we have to set it back. All right, so boom, 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 boom equals read char. We will need to grab read char. Oh, you know what we want actually? Alright, this is getting a little complicated. Bum, 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 bum. Alright, I'm just gonna pull this concat function out so that we can use it in read number. Alright, module dot exports equals exactly that. And whoops. Neato. So we're starting to kind of come back to our parser combinators that we did a while ago. And so basically we want this to be concat instead. And we will just search and replace all the read chars into concats. And for now, let's just copy that over. All right, it's getting a bit messy. So we're getting some ideas on how we will refactor this. All right, read number. Now we don't have concat, so we need to import it. Const concat equals require dots. Alrighty, and then what we need to do here is all right, let's see if this still works. Probably not. Oh yeah. We haven't run our tests since we made that directory. All right, where's that? That is read number spec. Okay, so this all still works. I'm gonna throw in just something that reads 3 digits. Just to make sure. Great. Okay, and let's just put some organization here. Decimal integer. So then we will want to get some exponents going. So let's do this. Just gonna copy that, and all right, 1E1. Isn't that great? I only have to change one thing. Oh my, look at that. All right, so then we should be able to do 1 plus. Minus. Not a number. Interesting. Okay. Also not a number. Well, let's just run it. So I am also going to jump into my launch.json and also modify this to only run our read number. All right, and let's run it. We should break on that exception. Of course. We didn't throw the exception. All right, well, I'll just step through it. Actually, I'm gonna stop this real quick and, oh, look at this. I want to do a dot only, but that won't work. Oh well. We can come back and do that later. All right. Okay, so now I think we are, so this is where we get, so our number is 1. Reader is undefined. That's interesting. All right. Let's rerun. Just jump down to here. Oh, this is not read exponent. Actually, yes, it is. Okay. So basically, when we encounter E, we want to read the exponent, which means that we remove plus and minus and swap these to concat. Maybe that's the problem. Let's see. Okay, I forgot to step through. All right, we're gonna read. All right, so this is the first one that passes. Oh my. Reads the number 10. Yep, that's right. Okay, so we have totally broken everything, which is great. I'm gonna take away this read only. Let's see if anything works anymore. Okay, so decimal integer works. Exponent, oh, the first exponent. That's interesting. I'm gonna turn off breakpoints and just run this thing. Oh, okay. Okay, let's go back, see what we're doing. Wait, what? Okay. Alrighty. Alright, where are we? We are in the first one. We expect this to pass. Wait a second. Okay. So, we're mutating stuff, and that's a problem. We'll put this here. Okay, I think it's time to rethink how we're doing our read tables. It's been a long time coming. All right, so basically what was happening was we are modifying our read table in place. And so the first time we call read number, everything was fine, but then we came through here and totally messed it up. All right, so what shall we do? All right, so this will be somewhat useful later on. All right, so I'm just going to put that there. Oh, that's distracting having both of those going. Okay, so what I'm thinking is we're going to continue to do something slightly lightweight, but just a little bit smarter, and see if it works out. And then if we think it's working out, we can formalize it later. So const, we call this number read table. And then read table equals dot number read table. I don't think this is going to work. Okay. All right, I'm not sure how I want this to work yet, so. We're just gonna do something dumb. Struggling. Okay. No, I mean, this is just putting a read table in place. All right, let's try. Let's see, what do we have here? Decimal integer. Let's just try doing something a little silly. Decimal integer. Yeah. Read decimal integer. Decimal integer read table. We don't need this, and we'll delete this. And then we will. So basically, I'm just building a BNF by hand here. Let's do read number.js. This guy. Read table. so then actually, this is pretty much going to be the same thing. All right, so we've got read number and read decimal integer, which this is pretty much, so, all right, let's just, this will take decimal integer, take a value. Actually, we can just pass in a number here. All right, maybe this isn't necessary. All right. Sorry for the back and forth here. Trying to decide how I want to do this. F2, read number. All right, so I think we can basically, so what do we have here? We're looking at decimal, integer, literal. Then we can have a dot, or then we can have a dot, an optional dot, and then an optional exponent. All right, great. So decimal, and we want this to be read number. Okay, so decimal integer read table. Great, and then char equals peak char, reader, read table. Right, so now we don't have a reader, and so now we want to, and char is the next char. So if char, right. All right, so this is pretty manual. We'll see if this is going to do the job for everything we want to do or not, but I think it'll do the job for now. So number plus equals read char stream, and then number plus equals so char equals minus plus number plus equals read char stream. This is a very common pattern where I read a char and then peek a char. All right, great. So now basically we're in the exponent part. Exponent, indicator, signed integer. Signed integer, we deal with plus, minus, or decimal digits. And so decimal digits, is that the same as decimal integer? Oh yeah. We need to rename this. This is actually decimal digits. Oops. And so that means, of course, in read number, we need to fix that. Decimal digits, read table. And I'm just going to abstract this function here. Digits. Do number equals read decimal digits. Exponent part, and that's all. Sorry. Exponent part, exponent indicator, which is E or E. Then we read, oh my goodness, these hovers are killing me. Signed integer, which is decimal digits plus or minus decimal digits, and that's it. We're done. So we're just kind of rolling this by hand. And nothing works anymore. Did we forget to do something? Okay, where are we? All right. Still a bit lost. Who says parsing is a solved problem? Maybe it is, but I'm just an idiot. So, all right, so we're totally failing on the E. So let's just break here. Oops. Forgot to peek. Terminal's way faster. Let's see. And we don't have read char, so what happened to ES line? Okay, so now we have exponents. Alright, so if char dot number plus equals oops, just read char. And so now we are on the dot portion, and I think basically this is saying that this is optional. So we just need to read some more decimal digits. And number equals read. We need to remember to peek. Always remember to peek. Okay, so right now we definitely have a bug. Oh, let's run. Nope. Bummer. Okay. I added code, didn't add a test. And so describe. Let's get this out of here. Alright, so describe decimal. No. Not how that works. Alright, so actually I'm gonna do describe only decimal. Basically, I'm just going to copy pasta a bunch of shit here. Okay. Let's just do 1.1, 1.1, e to the 1, 1.01 to demonstrate the bug I'm thinking of. Oh, look at that, because oh my goodness. So basically what I thought was going to happen in this read decimal digits, I thought that we were going to run into trouble with this, but since we are passing in and modifying, that's totally fine. All right, so basically we have managed to, I think, parse a decimal literal. Probably some bugs hanging out in there. Let's do integer and describe decimal. So basically I'm just kind of organizing my test file here. All right, so what else do we have? So we need to all right, so basically what I'm looking at here is you can definitely write a number like this. But what I think this is, I think that basically looking at this numeric literal, we start with decimals, so no plus or minus. So I think basically that means that the plus and minus end up being interpreted as unary operators rather than parsed directly as a number. So that will be fun. We'll get there. All right. I think I am going to jump over to the AST Explorer and verify that assumption. So if I do +1, we have a unary expression and a number literal. It says literal instead of numeric literal. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we'll have to handle that. Not sure if I want to do that in read number or just make unary operators in our Lisp. Going to basically defer this. Let's just stick to the spec for now. All right, so I'm going to move this to read decimal. So let's copy paste that into read decimal actually. So we will want all that, and we'll have read decimal. We could probably drive a lot of this. With a read table, but that was getting a little heady. I'm just going to stick with this. Okay, so we can delete this, and for now, I am just going to say return read decimal stream char. All right, so point of this is to have not changed anything. Oh no, what did we do? Well, we want this to be called read decimal for 1, and let's just make sure we are not referencing that anywhere. We are not. Okay. Wrong thing. Decimal. All right, cool. Oops, I have a describe only someplace. Let's get rid of that. Just make sure that everything still parses. Great. All right. So what we're gonna do now is grab the other ones. All right. So what else do we have? Binary, integer, literal. So 0 be binary digits. I think we can do this pretty simply. Okay, so if char equals 0, then we will check. All right, switch char stream space B. And B. And so this will be a bit simpler. So binary digits, and that's it. It's just 0 or 1. So we'll just do this in line. Let number equal this guy, and we're just gonna do let, oops, we're just gonna do well char yeah, so number and then char equals p char stream. So basically what I'm doing is I'm pulling this out to the top because at this point we always know that we're starting a valid number because we're coming from the master read table. And so read decimal, and we will pass it a value, hopefully, and then we do have a value. Cool. Okay, so number plus equals read char stream, and just like always, char equals, so we'll peek it. Actually, we could probably do this a little simpler. All right, so while peak char stream, nope, we got to do it this way because while char is 0 or 1. All right, getting lost in my head there, thinking ahead to some future features of JavaScript with number literals, but let's just continue. We could have done this from the beginning and had an easier time. Actually, let's just so we got that. Try and return number. So basically, all right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to just abstract this a bit. So all we need is, so the read table for numbers is primarily just going to be to override the default behavior when something is deviating. We don't need to drive the entire thing through it. So all we need to do is read decimal. So read table, we'll just I think this will work. All right, what if we just don't even do that? let's just do some stupid stuff here. All right, so binary digits equals a new set of 0 and 1. Just octal digits equals, whoops. Sorry, just thinking about some stuff here. I'm gonna add a function peak char code. All right, so that means that we have to go back to our, all right, so actually I'm just going to so return stream dot input dot char code at stream dot position. So const 0 equals 0, 0 at 0 or 1 9 8 no, not a you know what, we're gonna be inclusive here, just because that will make sense. So basically what I'm gonna do is just branch inside this function, and let's just make sure 0, 0 hex digits, and yeah, okay. Okay, and then we will want this is a little hairier than I wanted it to be, actually. All right, let's just Right, so basically we'll check if it's a binary that char code stream. So we will return that 0 is less than or equal to char code, and char code is less than or equal to 1. Actually, I'm just going to abstract the crap out of this in range. Stream, that's all we need. Stream and start and stop. And range stream 0 to 1 is octal digit stream turn in range stream 0 to 7. Function is decimal digit stream turn in range stream 0 to 9. Function is hex digit stream turn is decimal digit stream or in range stream A to F or in range stream A to F. Okay, so okay. So we're checking if the number is 0, and we will just check these other guys. So basically, what I'm responding to is that binary octal and hex integers are much simpler than decimal integers. So we can reuse a lot of the logic for it. And then we will go grab the read decimal. We can leave it there for now. All right, so char equals b, or no, those need to go inside there. Just copy paste and make our lives a little bit easier here. So that will be a b. All right, so B O O X X. Make this a little more simply. So if we have a test, then number plus equals read char. This is the same old thing that we're doing all the time. Char equals read char. Reader equals read table. Oh, we don't have a read table. Read table char and if reader. No, what is, all right, so while we have a reader or test stream, we will number equals if we reader, and we will call it with our stream, our char, and our number. Otherwise, number plus read char string. Oops. We also need pchar. All right, so what I'm thinking about now is how I can kind of collapse this in. So this could be just get function read digits stream char number. Actually, let's just create this guy. Read digits test. And stream char number. Okay, number, and I'm just going to do something kind of dumb here to 1, 2, 3. Whoa. 7, 8, and we need a 9. Equals is a decimal digit, and we will break, and then our default will be to throw new error unexpected input. Alright, we will definitely get better error messages. We'll come back to this. Okay, so now our read digits. Right. Actually, I'm just going to make this return the string. Okay. And number plus equals read char stream. Char equals char stream. Actually, we could just do this every time. Okay, so at this point, we would expect our current integer tests to all succeed and all the rest to fail. So we'll have to extend that. Let me just make sure. Okay, great. Whew. Test is not a function. All right, so we were still referencing our old function. All right, let's try this again. Okay. Okay, so we expect essentially the first two to succeed, everything else to fail. Oh, wow. How did that work? I don't know. Reads the number 0, reads the number 1, reads the number 10, 100. We would expect that. All right, what's going on here? All right, so if number equals 0, then we're going to check to see what it is that we're parsing. In the default case, check for number. That's fine. That should be inside the if statement. All right, let's verify that this is doing what we think it should. Right. So 1.1 fails, 0, 1 should throw, but it doesn't. Oops. We read 0, we read 1, we read 10, but we don't read 100. All right, so if, all right, so if is a decimal digit stream, then we'll do our throw. New error, invalid input. I think basically. All right, so the only valid thing is dot expected dot got into this. So okay. Let's see what we have here. 11. Oh, sorry. All right, let's just all the way up here. So we didn't throw an error, and we're not parsing 100. All right, well. Let's just jump into we need to do a little more branching here. Reader stream char. Equals read table peak char. Actually, that's all we need to do. We can keep this. All right, so basically, if we have a reader, we'll call reader, and then we'll set it to peak char number plus read char, and we'll set up our reader, and we will return number. And so read digits is there. We get a test, and then we call it with stream char number. Okay, totally not sure what's going on here, but. mouse is very sensitive. All right, let's run. Okay. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Yeah, really frustrating. All right. All right, I'm gonna jump over here and just comment these out so that I can jump back to this test right away. Oh boy. So let's say test stream. Okay. What? Wait, peak jar. It's just a typo. Okay, that was a lot of debugging for a typo. Let's run this again. Terminal. Let's see if we get what we expect. Still no. What the heck? Cannot read property. Whoops, where'd my terminal go? Okay, that's better. All right, so we got, okay, I'm surprised that passed. That shouldn't pass. All right, let's uncomment these. Did we even get our error? We haven't got our error. That's great. All right, let's get those back in there and all right, let's just run. convince ourselves that that's still working. Okay, somehow we're reading an extra character here. Oops. All right, read number. I think what we actually need to do here all right, so if it's a 0, only then do we want to read the char, otherwise we're just reading digits. So let's try that. So basically what I'm trying to do here is 1 dot should fail. And we didn't throw an error. That's weird. Not sure. Oh my, look at that. It's gotten a little dark around me, huh? I'm gonna turn the light on. Okay, so I think we're almost there. So what I'm gonna do now is get my read decimal. Just we had that file someplace. Whoa. Okay, what did we call this? Read decimal. Okay, so all right, so if test equals I think that we can essentially just grab this stuff. Change this to read digits. Let's see how close we get. Not very close. Okay, refactoring stuff is tricky. Oh. Oh, you know what? We need to actually oh, we still have this up here. Wait a second. Yep, okay. All right, so basically, oh boy. All right, I'm just gonna keep these here. Oh, this never happens. Char. So we'll read the 0, and then in those cases, we'll read the B's, the O's, and the X's, and then we'll read digits, and then this guy should be here. I'm gonna, oh, here we go. Because we need read digits test. All right, this is gonna need some refactoring, but let's keep moving. Okay, so first of all, that should be inside 0. All right, so maybe we shouldn't. All right, let me look here. So gun number, char, reader. We should not read the first character. Whew. Made it. We made it. Alrighty. Cool. Let's do some more tests then. Alright, so describe binary. And actually, let's just expand this and so that we can copy this. Alright, so this will be 0, be 0. Let's do 0, 1. This should throw. Actually, it might throw. It'll throw in here. Alright, so this needs to be just in it, and just say throws. Cool. We're totally D. Alright, we spam the keyboard there. Oh, we just ended up copy pasting in the wrong spot. Alright, let's do that and run. We didn't throw. We parsed the binary numbers. That's fun. Okay, so if peak char, we have in this white space. All right, so if not is white space. Actually, what's the char? Where are we? Read number. Pchar. Jar, unexpected input, jar. Alright, terrible error messages coming up. Alright, so if we're not at the end of the file or white space, we will throw an exception, and let's get that exception. Whoa! Oh, there we go. That's a problem. Oh. Great. All right, and so basically all we have to do now is do the same. All right, these are not quite exhaustive. Whoa, all right. Oops, should be an X. 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 And just going to copy paste that a couple times too. Let's do A, capital A. Oh, we don't want these to. That's the wrong thing. Let's just do G. Red E. We want to copy this guy. And so we want 2 A's and 2 F's. I probably could have picked an easier one to copy. A, F, and capital A, and capital F. That's fun. Great. So looks like we are pretty much parsing numbers now. All right, so let's go try to clean some stuff up before we finish for the day. So what we don't need anymore is this guy. I hope. And whoa, that's kind of annoying. Number, read table. We do want number, read decimal. We don't want. And let's jump back to package.json and reset this guy to run all tests. And same for whoa settings. And the same for the launch config. This guy should be a star. All right, let's run our test. Great. Alrighty. I'm just gonna do this over here just for simplicity. Actually, do we have concat? Where are we using concat? We might have gotten rid of that. All right. No, search. Concat. Yep. All right. Well, we might rewrite this again, but for now, let's just keep things clean. All right. Let's make sure that nothing crashes with that. Great. Okay. So let's just add all of those guys. Wait a second. Okay, great. Okay. Read number. And we'll push that up. Great. So we're gonna call that good for today. So thanks for watching. And now that we can parse numbers, when we come back, we can jump back into some more nitty-gritty of parsing strings, and then we'll be set to come back to our expander and compiler, and then the world is our oyster. Like I said, thanks for watching. Until next time, everybody.